Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Maxwell Show. Like always, thank you for tuning in. And today we have a special guest, someone who really doesn't do the wholesaling, but somebody who's huge. You probably heard of him if you on my Instagram. You probably seen him somewhere. But welcome to the show to my guy, Brandon Rule, aka B Rule. Welcome, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming into town, by the way. You know, we had Michael come in last week.
That's
You're
right.
here this week.
That's right.
That's fire, man, to be able to have you guys come in. For people that don't know you, like if you had to choose like somebody say, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Great question, man. I typically answer, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You know, oftentimes people put me into the development category.
Okay.
I do so much more than that, and we can unpack some of the things that I've done today, but I'm an entrepreneur. I just like to create business, and all of them are driven by my passion of creating wealth in communities of color.
Got it.
That's who I am.
So your passion is to create wealth in communities of color.
That's right.
I love that. So don't get it twisted, y'all. If you go Google his name, you find out all the stuff he's done because he's out there like that. But no, tell us a little bit about you coming up, man. Like, where you from? Where you born?
Yeah, so I was born in Los Angeles, California.
LA.
So, yeah, right outside of LA, actually in Northridge.
Okay.
And I was raised there. Two high school sweethearts. So my parents are high school sweethearts from Chicago.
Wow.
And they moved.
Chicago, LA.
They graduated high school and said, we out.
Okay.
It was cold. It was, Chicago.
I would have left too.
We had to see something new. So my grandfather was actually in LA at the time. And I think that was part of the reason why they moved.
Yeah.
So we moved to LA, born in 88. In 1994, there was the worst natural disaster in American history, the Northridge earthquake. So I was a part of that.
Why don't I know anything about this?
Instagram wasn't around back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wasn't no Twitter, Instagram.
You ain't TikTok? You ain't put on TikTok?
Wasn't no TikTok.
Okay.
It wasn't no TikTok. So yeah, it was the worst, financially at least.
Yeah.
Right now I think it's 3 behind Katrina and one other one, but we can look it up.
Wow.
Whatever. So we lost everything in 94. Like our whole apartment complex shut down. We slept outside for 3 days, wrapped around the local grocery store. And my dad was like, nah, I'm out. Like, we out.
Let's go.
We going back.
Pack what we got. Let's bounce.
So they were going to go to Chicago, but they ended up going to Milwaukee because my granddad was at Milwaukee at that time.
Okay.
So we lived in his attic for a bit. And then my dad got a job.
Milwaukee.
We ended up.
Like, you don't hear many brothers say y'all from Milwaukee.
People from Milwaukee don't leave. It's 40% black.
Really?
Yeah, it's the worst place for black people in the country.
As like just financially, job-wise, everything?
Across the board, man. Mass incarceration, segregation, inequalities between blacks and whites as it relates to income. Just look at the statistics, you'll see.
But it's cold up there too, though.
Freezing.
So I wouldn't go outside for half of the year anyways. So
Nah.
I wouldn't have a job for half of the year anyways.
Stay right in the crib.
In the house.
It is freezing. It's cold.
I'm not gonna make it for the next 6 months.
It's cold.
Because you guys are way up there.
Yeah, so we're actually, a lot of people don't know this, we're only an hour and a half from Chicago.
Chicago's up there too, at least to me.
Yeah.
That'd be cold, man. Chicago get that whole...
So Minnesota's up there further than that.
Okay, yeah, definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
That's that...
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And it's crazy, because some of the craziest... Some Africans be moving all the way up there.
You know what? Minneapolis has some of... one of the largest populations, I believe, is East Africans. So, yeah.
And it's warm on that side. And they go all, okay.
I don't speak on things that I don't know, but I just know that they're there.
Yeah, I know it's colder. I know it's colder in Minnesota than it is in Africa.
Yeah. Much colder.
But so, all right, above that. So you I guess you spent majority of your growing up life in?
Yeah, Milwaukee, bro.
Milwaukee?
I moved when I was 5. I recently relocated to DC recently, as in like 4.5 years ago, but from 4 to about 27.
Oh, wow.
5 to about 27, I was in Milwaukee.
So were you an athlete growing up, going to school, basketball?
Went to school every day. I used to take a lot of pride in, my 100% attendance award.
Okay.
I don't know if I should at this point in time, but...
I mean, I definitely didn't do that.
And we had no days off. I mean, unless it was a foot of snow, you were absolutely at school. Like 6, 7 inches of snow, you were at school.
Yeah, North Carolina, if they think it's gonna snow, we're not going to school.
No, we were at school, bro. Like, literally, it could be 0 degrees, we're at school. Mm-hmm. So that's how MPS just got down, Milwaukee Public School System. One of things have gotten better, but it was one of the worst in the country at the time. So that's where I come from. Did all of that. I played sports, man. Growing up, I played baseball like when I was really, really small, soccer, taekwondo. Got a little older, started hooping, played basketball. In high school, played basketball my freshman year, and then I played football and track all 4 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, went to Marquette in Milwaukee. It was the best school in the area at the time.
Yeah.
Well, it is the best school in the city. And I wasn't good enough to make the D1 basketball team, and they didn't have a football team, so I was just stuck on academics.
You're a student.
Yeah.
You know, so what type of work did your parents do? Like you said earlier, you're an entrepreneur. Did that come from your father, your mother? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so my mom is a stay-at-home mom. She's done that all throughout, but she was a volunteer for our community organization for the last 15 years. She was the president.
Okay.
Didn't get paid, but she did very good work.
Yeah.
And my dad was an x-ray technician.
Okay.
So after my mom got pregnant, he was like, yo, I'm gonna go to school. So he got a trade associate's degree.
Yeah.
And was in the medical profession for all of those years.
Okay.
But my grandfather, one of them was a street pharmacist and the other one was a taxi cab driver, and he owned his own taxi cab. So I think, seeing them indirectly helped, fuel kind of some of the ambition there. And then my parents were entrepreneurial. They purchased a property from the city of Milwaukee and refixed that. My mom actually runs a home health care company that I own right now. So it's always been in my blood and my spirit. Got it.
So if it came from somewhere, whether it was your parents, your grandparents, you had it in you. Now you go back and you say, look, are you in college now? What did you study in college?
Started off as I was undecided first and foremost when I went there. But then I knew that I loved sports and I knew I wanted to be a doctor. So high school all throughout, I used to have email like Dr. Rule at AOL.com. It's still mine somewhere. I got to find a password.
Get that password.
Yeah. Don't steal that. But I knew I was going to be a doctor. Then when I got to school, I took chemistry and bio, and it was just like, this is not really for me. Nah.
Yeah.
So I ended up studying economics and sociology. And it really, it's a great pairing for the work that I do today because I was able to study the economy, capitalism and things like that. It's like, money is bad. No, money is a tool, understanding how it works. But then also pairing that with kind of sociology and how we fit within certain systems within the country. That really lends itself well to the work that I'm doing and trying to create wealth in these communities, right?
Makes sense. I mean, so that explains kind of your mission is kind of even started when you were in college.
But I stumbled into it. You
didn't know what part of what you were doing. So when I'm thinking about that is like, that degree, I don't know if I've heard that mix and match a degree. You probably had a bunch of job offers coming out of college.
No.
You didn't?
Nah. My grades weren't that good. I told you I didn't do good. I didn't do well at chemistry and bio, so it's not like I got rid of those classes on my GPA. They were still on there.
Okay.
You know, so
I was so undecided in college, I didn't go. So this you can tell me where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I was so super undecided.
Yeah. I was there and just undecided.
Yeah, at least you went.
It was fun though.
Yeah, of course.
I learned a lot.
Let me ask you this question: What did you get the most out of college?
Oh man, I would say the ability to understand American culture.
Why is that? Because you had a mix. Was it a mix of people up there?
No. My school was 4% black.
Okay, so you went to a PWI.
Went to a PWI,
okay.
But coming through MPS, most of my peers looked like me. I grew up in a very inner city urban environment. But when I got to college, I realized this later, but I had culture shock, man. It was like, I used to go to class and not talk to nobody for the whole day. Like I could wake up 8, 9 in the morning, go to class, put my headphones on, not raise my hand in class, go to the next class with my headphones on, next class and walk all the way back home after these couple classes and literally not speak to anyone. That's not a very good, experience of college at all, especially during the week. But understanding how American culture works, I think that, certain things are real, right? There's white supremacy, there's power, there's influence, right? So how do you adapt to all of these things being a minority from the inner city that doesn't have any wealth, that doesn't have any background in business and structure and Yeah.
How do you overcome these built-in obstacles? Like, you know it's there.
Me personally, I overcame it because my parents always instilled confidence in me.
Yeah.
Like, I personally think I can do anything I put my mind to, for real.
Yeah.
I'm very self-aware, so you got to pair that. You got to pair your self-awareness with your confidence, and your confidence gets built by your hard work.
You know, and it's funny, that's a good way to describe it, because I feel like I have become very self-aware over the last 5 or 6 years. I've always been confident, right? I've just always been a confident person, even when it wasn't supposed to be. But I became very self-aware, so I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm bad at.
That's right.
Like, I know these things, I know how I act emotionally with things, or not emotionally. You know, so that's a good way to put that. As far as college, would you recommend that, you know, everybody should go to college, or it's a necessary tool to be in an entrepreneur? What are your thoughts on that? And everybody gives a different answer, so there's no right or wrong.
So I don't think everyone should go to college, but I'm also not the type that says people shouldn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on you and what your goals are.
Yeah.
I will say college opens the door.
Correct.
College
in
opens
what way?
when you have something, and time is changing, you don't necessarily need a resume, but in order to get in certain rooms, it is important to have.
Say, I went to university.
I went to X, now if you just don't care about the rooms and you're doing your own thing, that's fine too. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's interesting because so many people have this conversation. Yeah, let's go here for a moment, because you are not the course guru, right? But so many people say, oh, you don't need college, just come take my, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 course and you can just solve. That's not the solution either. Just in my opinion, that's not the solution. I think some of those are very well suited to help enhance people's careers. But more often than not, to be honest, I believe a lot of them are predatory. When your primary income stream, and not to say college isn't, some colleges are, but when your primary income stream is based and rooted on the money that you're making of people purchasing your courses, the value and the intent of what you are doing is more driven by sales than impact. And you can say, oh yeah, I'm trying to impact, but more often than not, and there's some exceptions to this rule.
Correct, they are.
But more often than not, that's what happens. So that question is tough for me because I don't think everyone should go.
Yeah.
But I'm also not screaming at the top of my lungs saying, hey, take my course, because this is the better route.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I personally think that everybody shouldn't have to go to college, but I believe that if you need to work on your social skills.
That's right.
And or you're just obviously your degree, your job needs you to have that degree in order to get your job.
Your network is the best thing in college. I didn't take advantage of it, but that's what you should do if you go to college. Create a network.
Correct. Yeah. So that's your social skills and being able to do that.
That's right.
And be around with people. So that's a good answer. So you get out of college, you ain't got no job offers. What happened?
Oh man, friend of my mom's, Anna Pearson at the time, Simpson. She was working at a bank. She was working at PNC Bank and offered me a job for $23,000 a year to come in and be a banker.
4-year degree.
Yeah.
$23,000.
Yeah, I was balling.
1980 what?
This was 2011, yeah.
I'm just saying,
2011.
It sounds like,
yeah, before inflation kicked in, 23 was solid, right? Like that's equivalent to 50.
You could buy you a Sears house in 1950.
Nah.
No.
This was 10 years ago. 10 years ago to the day, I was working, making $23,000 a year at a bank that I'm not gonna name because I give them too much press.
You already said it anyways.
Oh, shit. I just slipped out.
You already said it. All right, but that's interesting. So you're at this. You take the job?
Yeah, I took it. I ain't had nothing else to do.
Okay, so 23. You making?
I could have took a different job. When I was in college, I was working at a mobile phone store, and I was making really good money there. I mean, I could have made 40, 50. And
selling iPhones and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was selling. I'm a tech geek on the low.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah,
me too.
I can tell. So instead of doing that, I feel like from the business perspective, it made more sense to go over there and make less money. Because then I could maybe become a business banker. I could do more in real estate.
So you see an opportunity in this low paying job. You said, maybe I can get my foot in the door.
Yeah. Start
as a personal banker or a teller and work my way up to learn X so I can be a business banker.
Finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long did you stay in the bank?
2 years. It didn't work out like that. Nah.
2 years is a long time though.
I ain't had nothing else to do.
Yeah, 2 years. I mean, 2 years for me, anyways. 2 years at a place is like a long time. So
that was one of my longest jobs.
Did you learn though?
Learn what?
No, I guess not.
How to open a checking account? Like,
So you were doing that stuff, okay?
Maxwell, like, it's your birthday. Like, what am I supposed to learn?
Fill out this form. Okay, got it. So what happens next?
You know what? While I was there, so even before I was there, let me rewind. When I was in college, I took this program called the ACRE program. It stands for Associates in Commercial Real Estate. So I'm creating my version of this, Reinvest. It's Reinvest Development Training Program coming soon. Where it was really like a 26-week program. We met once a week, and they exposed me to various aspects of commercial real estate. So we met different lenders and different construction companies and property management companies and developers, and we worked on a kind of capstone development project, if you will. And it was targeted at professionals. I'm one of the youngest ACRE grads of all time, and I was 20 or 21 at the time. It was targeted at professionals, but I got in really early. So then from there, while I was working at the bank, I was able to network with some of the people that were a part of this ACRE kind of cohort and curriculum. And I would just go every lunch. I would try to schedule meetings. Shout out to Kanini, that was my other boss at the end of left. She would let me go on these lunch meetings when I was not supposed to be gone for 2 hours, but she would let me go, so thank you.
You're supposed to have a 30-minute lunch.
To this day, I would do that. And I realized like, yo, I need to meet more. I need to network more. I can't do that waking up at 6, being at work at 7:30, leaving at 6, getting home at 7, going to the gym, rat race, right?
All over again.
I couldn't do that. So it's like, I gotta find a way to get out of here so I could meet with more of these people in a much shorter
Were you
amount of
able
time.
to be living at home during this time?
No, I was actually, I was living in low income housing at the time. To be honest, it was a new building, very similar to the ones that I did.
You qualified.
Yeah, I'm qualified.
You qualified.
I'm really like $650. I'm living downtown, got a nice little situation.
We ain't gotta know. They ain't gotta know though. But so you're living in the type of things you build now. But
That's
anyways,
right.
So the point is you hear this, you get an opportunity to be a part of this program while you're in your job, and you learn the power of networking. You start networking with real estate people, and you say, look, I can't do both at the time. So you quit this job. How are you gonna pay your rent?
That's a whole nother conversation. I purchased a 4-unit before I left.
Okay, so you took advantage of your 2 years of working somewhere to be able to go buy a house.
Yeah, I started
What type of
in May, I
finance
left
did
in
you?
June.
What type of finance did you?
FHA 3.5% down, 85,000. I needed all in about $5,000. Saved that up. I used to kill the account opening, so my bonuses were actually pretty decent. So I used to take my bonuses, stack it up. I bought a 4-unit. I had 4 units that I was renting out for $625 a piece. If we do the math on 620, was it 625 at the time? 625, 1250. Yeah, it was about $2,500 that I was bringing in a month.
How much was your mortgage?
Mortgage, taxes, and insurance was only $1,000. So what I did was that $1,500 was equivalent to the $750 I was making every 2 weeks at the bank.
So you was good. So let's back up though, because we got to back up and just talk about that quick strategy, right? just 4-unit FHA. Explain it what it is in like layman terms, real quick.
Okay, cool. So there was a multifamily property.
Yeah.
Anything 4 units and under is actually residential.
Okay.
So I was able to use a residential loan that only required a 3.5% down payment.
Okay, and what was your purchase price?
$85,000.
So you talking $5,000?
Yes.
So you had to bring $5,000 to a closing table, and now you own 4 units in one building.
Really less than $5,000 if you want to be honest.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yes. 4 units in one building, kicking out $1,500 a month in perpetuity. Profit after everything.
And you was like, wait, that's more than I'm making at the bank with 23, and that's before taxes. 23 was before taxes.
No, yeah. So I ended up getting to like 26.
Yeah, you know, with your bonuses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, my bonuses had a little bit more, but the average of post-tax $750 about every 2 weeks versus the $1,500 I'm getting from this, and I don't have to be there for 40 hours. You gotta do anything. Sign me up.
So that's called that now is, we call that house hacking.
That's right.
And it's still available thing people can do now, right?
Yeah, that's if there is one strategy, wholesaling aside, because I know a lot of y'all are loving wholesaling, but one investment strategy that you can get into, please house hack. Start with a 4-unit and go down.
Boom. So you got this 4 unit, you quit your job, do you go back to this this networking thing you're in and you start to learn more, or that was over, the program was over?
It's so interesting because what happened in 2008?
Market crashed.
There was no new development in 2010. This was 2010 when I did the program. This was 2011 while I'm working at the bank. It's 2013. So that whole time while I'm networking, the program wasn't even in existence anymore. My year was the last year period.
Okay.
They took a hiatus from 10 till about 14 or 15.
15, because that's when things started brewing.
It started picking back up. So the program didn't, but I was able to use, hey, so-and-so, I'm a member of the ACRE program, blah, 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 blah. I used to search people emails, like, same strategies y'all using to find information? I was doing that in real estate and business. It didn't matter.
Finding other people that you wanted to be,
I found anybody I wanted to find. They got an email from me. I called. If I wanted to find you, I was gonna find you. Yeah.
That's what's up.
But you have to be resourceful. I was just a young hustler. Like, yo, I'm gonna figure it out. What do I have to lose? And that's what I was doing. And then I would go to different events. I would go to conferences around the country. Couldn't afford to go. Get a buddy pass. There was a guy that gave me a buddy pass with Allegiant. I would fly out to LA for a conference.
Man, bless your heart. Allegiant.
Allegiant.
On top of that, buddy pass with Allegiant?
Man,
where you have to go, under the plane?
I was going to Appleton, Wisconsin, 2.5 hours from Milwaukee to fly to Vegas, to fly to LA, because there was no Allegiant in Milwaukee.
Yeah, no Allegiant. Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Do what you gonna do.
You got to figure it out.
So you out here running around, going to conferences, you ain't got no job, but you house hacking now.
And I sneak in the conference.
And you sneak in the conferences. Shout out to Elijah. You probably had like the Elijah badge that he usually, the marketing, but anyways.
No, I used to find badges and flip them around.
You got to get in.
Or I just wouldn't have a badge and I would just act like
you're supposed to be there.
Even though I was the only black people, young, pro.
They ain't gonna say nothing to you anyway.
Cool.
So you're going to these events, you're networking, you're hanging out with people.
Yeah.
What's next? I mean, is that your aspirations to live off this $1,500 a month?
No, my goal was always to do development. I knew I wanted to do a development eventually.
What does that even mean? You want to do a development? You want to build a neighborhood?
Yeah, I wanted to be a developer. Okay. So a developer is a person that goes, identifies an opportunity that is currently underutilized, changes use, and to improve that to the highest and best use of whatever parcel it is. So I wanted to start off developing multifamily properties, specifically affordable and workforce housing.
Because you used to live in one.
I've been homeless before, temporarily, not really homeless.
Yeah, but when you
in
the earthquake and stuff.
That's right. It was in the fire too, temporarily cool. Yeah, I've been homeless.
So what gravitated you to? I mean, I know that was your mission, is to be able to empower people, but what gravitated you to say, I want to build low-income housing?
Yeah, so rewinding. Remember, I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
That's because my dad was an X-ray technician. My dad took me when I was young. Y'all might have heard this story before, but he was like, yo, my dad said I got to be better than him, so you got to be better than me. So I equated being better to him being a doctor. You just young and dumb. Correct. Like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to just have a better profession. Like that's what make you a better person. No.
Yeah.
Right? So when that didn't work out, I started to look at different things. I'm like, yo, my mom is working in community. I could still help people in this way. And then when I found out what a developer does, I could help people. That was number one. Two, I had autonomy of my time. That was one of the most important pieces.
If you know how to use it correctly, right?
That's right. And then three, I was able to build well. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. Done. And this is the way that I can improve my community while building my wealth. Come on, sign me up.
Got it. And so you're networking. When do you get your first taste of any type of development? I mean, this sounds like a long journey, bro.
Yeah, I took the class in 2010. My first project started in 2016.
So you 6-year road.
Yeah. I got it under contract in 2015. I applied for tax credits at the beginning of 2016. I found out in the middle of 2016.
So what was your first project?
60 units, affordable housing right on 7th and National.
Where's that? I don't know. Where?
In Milwaukee, it's 5 minutes from downtown. It's near downtown in a primarily Latino neighborhood that's facing gentrification. So
how did you get this dude, never done a project?
Yeah.
How are you? I mean, you said 60 units?
60, yeah.
Who is approving you to do 60 units? 5 minutes from downtown.
And I just made $23,000 a couple years ago.
You lived off $1,500. What happened? What happened?
Oh, man. So in 2013, I left my job at the bank. 2014 September. So a little over a year after I left the bank, people weren't paying their rent on time. I wasn't underwriting properly. I had no reserves. I was just living. I'm like, yo, I need to get some money. Like,
check the check.
This ain't working. It's not working. Check the check on somebody else's check.
Yeah, hand them out. Like this.
So it's like, it's not working. So I ended up getting a job, but I was very intentional. I was only going to take certain jobs. I was working from home, and I worked for 2 CDFIs, Community Development Financial Institutions.
Okay.
And I was doing business lending. So I was able to do underwriting on business deals. I was able to go out to the community and offer loan products to businesses of color, to minority, to women, veterans, all in line with my mission. I'm like, bet, this is cool. And I sat in on the lending committee side of things. So I would see exactly what the bankers would want to see in order to approve it.
So you got to hear or understand the back end reason why somebody go get denied or approved for a loan. You were seeing their process.
For 2 different companies.
Okay.
One, mainly business, some was commercial real estate, mainly, but it's all credit is the same.
Correct.
For 2 different companies. So we had a lending committee every other week for both companies. So pretty much every week I'm sitting there on the lending committee with 8 to 10 people that are way smarter than me.
Wow. Okay. So you learned the game literally by just, you was living life by design at this point.
Yeah, because all the conferences that I was sneaking in before, they're now funding me to go. I'm going as their companies, but I'm still me and they know I'm a developer. So I'm still networking because the community development space is real small. Everyone knows everyone. It's a real small thing. So I'm going on their dime, which is great. You know, I was actually representing their companies I was doing business development work, so I had to be there anyway. And it worked out. It worked out for the better. I mean, I was able to market their companies and get their brands out there more, provide potential loans for businesses that needed the most, and really even see gaps in both of their processes that frankly, I feel like could have been felt. And that's why I created Reinvest, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm sure. Yeah,
so tell me, the 60 unit goes well?
No.
I thought you were give me a Cinderella story, man.
No. So it's interesting. 60 units, right when I got that awarded, it was $561,000 worth of tax credits. So the way that the tax credit worked, 561 times 10 years, it's the 10-year tax credit period. Call it 5.6 million times whatever your pricing is. So if you're a tax credit investor, I can sell you this credit and you give me money and I use that money to build the building.
Yearly, or do I give you compound effect?
You give it to me up front.
Okay.
And you keep the compound.
At what percentage of what you cost to value?
It depends on what the market is. So in 2016, when I underwrote my deal, the market in Milwaukee was $1.05 on the dollar. So
wait, why does that make sense?
There's still some back-end depreciation, things like that you can, it just depends on where the market is, what the capital gains rates are, what the income tax levels are.
Yeah.
So at that time, the corporate tax rate was 35%.
Correct.
When Trump came in, he cut it down to 21.
Correct.
That dropped the equity pricing from $1.05 Milwaukee to 90 cents immediately.
Wow.
Call it 15% or so decrease in my
value of the credit.
Because
Trump goes in 2016, right?
That's when I got the credit.
Oh, okay.
I applied late 2015.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you told me. Okay.
It came in
So I put it together. So now, let me understand this. So correct me if I'm wrong. Tax credit is something that the city incentivizes a builder to build something because it doesn't make sense to build what they want because it's affordable. And so you have to make certain units affordable, which messes up your cost per and what your revenue going to get, right? I'm just kind of keep this real simple.
Yeah, let's do federal, federal but city, all of the rest is the same. If it costs $10 million to build these 100 units, but the value of that based on NOI divided by cap rate, the income is only $5 million, there has to be a gap, the tax credit fills that gap.
Yeah, so the tax credit fills the gap of affordable housing. And then you can sell that piece of paper for 10 years up front, 5 to be able to finish your project.
Yes.
Now,
that's the equity in my project.
Correct.
So I don't bring any cash. There's $100 I put into my deal.
And the rest is you use
tax credits.
Yeah. Amazing, by the way. Anyways, amazing. And so on top of that, you have, how long do you have to stay affordable with the city?
So
or whoever.
Yeah, it's 30 years, but there's a 15-year tax credit compliance period. 30 years of affordability, but the tax credit specifically is 15 years. So after 15, you'll see some of them kind of get bought out and they become market rate deals. But typically 30, you can get out as early as 15.
That's way over my head.
Yeah,
You said 30, but you said 15.
Let's call it 15.
All right, cool. So in 15 years, you can turn that project around, but you only covered for 10 years, whatever, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I want to keep it simple. I want to get in the weeds right now, but I don't want to. So anyways, you get to sell a piece of paper with a 10-year projection immediately right now. So if you would have got that in 2015, the person that would have bought it for $1.05, he would have been hurting.
That was just the price. Not necessarily hurting because, well, maybe because the tax credit. No, he actually would have been off better. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about that a little bit.
Does the guy that buy it from you just turn it in right away?
Yeah, they use it every year for 10 years.
So they slowly use it.
They're anticipating a tax liability of $561,000 annually for X amount of time. But yeah, they probably was hurting because if they could have bought the same thing
for 95.
9 months later for 90 cents, yeah.
Oops.
I mean,
right. So anyways, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. And so, but let's get back to the 60 unit.
Yep.
You said it didn't go well?
Not at all. So when the pricing drops, we just did the exercise. 561 times 10 times 15 year, or $5 versus 561 times 10 times 90. Let's just keep it simple. $6 million of equity before now became $5 million overnight. The project cost didn't change
at all.
But the sources of equity that I have.
So you're $1 million short.
I'm $1 million short. And at that time, I went with a fully integrated company. So they had property management, development, and construction. And their construction budget was significantly less than everyone else in the market. So they kind of forced me into a situation and said, hey, we are not comfortable signing this operating agreement with you, so we're not gonna put any money into this project right now. And I'm like, yo, what do you mean? I just got a request to pay $26,000 right when we got it. And they're like, no, we're not gonna do this. We need to figure out our terms. Okay, we decided on 80-20 or 65-35. Oh no, we're not comfortable with that. Let's do 80-20 the other way. I didn't get it written down on paper. So I got screwed. But luckily, the land was under my name. The tax credit was under my name. I was able to get them out. I got them out, boom. But now I got a project, tax credit equity pricing drop, increased construction costs. My sources decreased by $1 million.
That's right, yeah.
My uses increased by $2 million. So now I got a $3 million gap that, again, I was just making $26,000.
And this was your equity side.
Total. I needed to just solve
You need to get $3 million to be able to get this project rolling.
Yeah. And you can't put equity into it.
Okay, correct.
So you defer your developer fee. That's the first thing that goes. Developer fee on a $10 million project is 1.2, ended up being 12. So call it a little over $1 million. We actually chopped it down, whatever. We deferred all of our developer fee. I ended up bringing in a new partner, new GC. I figured out how to do this deal after 3.5 years worth of work. At the closing table, in your world, y'all call it, when we signed the HUD, right? I got a $6,000 check.
6,000?
6,000.
You're supposed to get.
Originally, I thought I was going to see the 1.2 or at least 80% of the 1.2.
You walk away with $6,000.
I just got a $24,000 check like less than a year ago. But that's my whole pay fee from that deal right now. That's it. I'm getting $30,000 paid from that deal.
But you got to wait 15 years.
Well, I got 30 so far now. I got 6 initially, but then I waited 1.5 years for the other 24, 2 years for the other 24. And that was pretty much just.
So this is probably going over a lot of people's heads, but this is the development game. But it's really, I call developers like artists. Like you got to paint a picture that somebody don't see.
Yeah.
And then you got to go out and sell that picture without actually painting it yet.
Yeah, that's a fact. And there's a lot of money up front.
It's a lot of money for you to go paint that canvas.
So if let's say some of my current deals, I'm anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million into my deals, everyone. If something goes wrong and I don't close, that money is gone. That's at risk. But if I close, all that money comes back. And I don't have to put any equity in. When things go right, developers on the affordable housing side get 10 to 15%. of the total project cost. So if I do $50 million project and I'm making 10 to 15% off of that, y'all can do the math on what that looks like, right? So if things go right, they go right. But when things go wrong, they go wrong.
So you finished the project.
Yeah.
What year? 2017 probably?
2018.
2018. 60 units?
Yeah, so from 2010 when I started to 2018 when I finished, I made $6,000 in real estate.
What were you, a street pharmacist during this time?
Nah, bro. People thought I was.
How you living, man?
I had the 4 unit.
Oh, you still had the 4 unit.
And at 2016, from 2014 to 2016, I was working for that company.
Got it. So you were floating. Okay, you were floating. Got it. And so
I was living off nothing.
Let's fast forward to today.
Oh yeah.
How many projects have you done since then, or how many projects have you completed?
2 have been completed. 2 are under construction. 1 is starting construction in a few months. So
tell me your pipeline of total projects.
What I right there is a little over 100 million just in that, and that's all Wisconsin. Birmingham, if things go well, a couple $100 million in Birmingham, and I'm looking at probably a couple $100 million in Atlanta right now, and maybe 50 or so million in Houston if things go.
So what we doing in North Carolina?
That's what we're trying to figure out right now.
At least a couple $100 million.
A couple $100 million in North Carolina too.
So how are you sourcing these dirts, these pieces of land to be able to turn them into something?
Yeah, great question, man. Some of it is just sent to me at this point. I have a large enough brand where people know I'm a developer and they send me different stuff. Most of it is trash. So
where would you like people, there's a lot of people watching right now. Where would you want them, what would you want them to send them, and where would you want them to send it to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say text it to my community number.
Okay, and we'll just put it below, okay.
Text that to my community number, that's the easiest way. When Reinvest is set up, Reinvest Community, check us out, .com. When that's set up, we're actually taking intake. So we're providing capital to people that are looking to do development deals. So we'll have an intake form that you can put deals straight into as well.
Got it. So let's hit on Reinvest, because you talked about that earlier. What is Reinvest?
Yeah, Reinvest is a crowdfunding platform that's democratizing real estate access.
Now explain that, because it pisses me off. Go ahead, explain that.
Yeah. So right now, I just talked about how I'm doing. I did $100 million worth of development, right? My mother cannot invest in my deals, bro.
Why?
The way that the laws are set up.
And what does the law state?
Bruh, depending on which one it is, but for the most part,
she has to be accredited.
Just to keep it really simple, you got to be an accredited investor in order to invest in these projects. And unless you're they're changing the rules, but unless you're making 200,000 plus or have $1 million in net worth, not including your
personal home,
not including your personal home at all, you cannot participate because you don't have enough experience
to make a decision,
able to make an informed decision about this.
But they allow you to sign up for high interest rate credit cards. They allow you to go get they allow you to get $100,000 in school loan debt. They allow you to go do all these things. But if you got an extra $50,000 from a bonus or you inherited it, you cannot go invest in things because you're not accredited.
Yeah.
That is what you call exclusion.
The top 1% of all of the country owns 40% of the commercial real estate. The top 10 owns 82%. So the bottom 90 percentile, millions of billionaires, own literally 17 and some change percent of the commercial real estate in the country. That has to change.
And so you decided to create a platform that allows people. How are you able to circumvent the laws and the rules?
So they changed. Obama in 2012 passed the Jobs Act. It allowed for equity crowdfunding. So we can create a business that can be an equity entity in these properties and allow you to purchase a piece of this business. So we're actually allowing you to invest in real assets backed by real estate, as opposed to investing in, let's say, the New York Stock Exchange or in the markets where you're investing in a business. You're investing in paper, not actually in property.
Yeah, CEO wakes up and does something stupid, and the price goes down.
Yeah, we're not subject. Elon
Musk tweets, the price goes down.
We're not subject to
dumb stuff.
Yeah, those kind of.
So give me an example of how Reinvest, how somebody out there can use Reinvest. Give me an example of, not a real deal, but just a summed up deal.
Yeah, let's take good friend Chris Senegal, for example.
Yeah.
He has a 250 unit deal in Houston, Texas. We are likely going to take that deal, put it on our platform, and allow people to invest. We're also putting multiple deals like that in this. So ours is a portfolio deals. Let's say you have these 7 projects. Even if you have $1,000, you can invest in those 7.
$1,000.
$1,000.
So I can flip my money in how long? Not
flip.
the right type of person. So this is so tell me the type of, exactly. This is what I want to get to. Tell me the type of people
Don't come here trying to flip your bread.
This ain't that.
No.
So you're talking long-term investment, and so
ideally 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple ways where you can request your money previously, or we're looking into this alternative trading platform. So by the time we launch, it should be there where you can put your shares onto that as well.
When are you planning on launching?
Q1 of 2022.
Got it. Q1 of 2022. All right, I'm in. You know I'm in.
Oh yeah.
You know I'm in. So
we got some strategic partners we're gonna be announcing real soon.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be fun, man.
Yes,
I'm definitely excited for that, because I think as much money as we spend in a community or we have control with, I think it's over $2 trillion a year annually. I think it's time for us to be able to take it off the brands, get it off of Nike, get it off of whoever, and put it into whatever, even if it's just discipline enough to just put the XYZ. And maybe people gonna be giving presents now where they're like, yo, I just put $2,000 in Reinvest for you in this project. In 5 years, you'll be able to go collect that.
Come check us out, and you'll see how you can hand presents to various people within your network. We got something special for you to do just that.
So do you have a website up and all that stuff?
Yeah, right now it's reinvestcommunity.com.
Okay.
So check us out. You can go on, sign up for updates, and when we launch, we'll let you know. Or text Reinvest or the puzzle piece, the green puzzle emoji, to my community number.
Green puzzle emoji. Okay.
Yeah, that's us, man.
And we'll put the number down below of his community number so that you guys will be able to text him.
The community is the missing piece to the puzzle as it relates to commercial real estate. So Reinvest stands for real estate investing, but also reinvesting in your community.
You get to do it. No more blaming somebody else.
Nah.
Put your own bread up.
Yeah, everyone should have ownership, but everyone shouldn't be an entrepreneur.
Say that again, right? Say that right there over there, that again.
Everyone in the country, especially from our communities, should have ownership, but everyone shouldn't be an entrepreneur. So we're creating the way for you to have ownership without having to go through the risk and the administrative burden of being an entrepreneur.
That's it, man. Listen, I kept this conversation real high level.
Yeah, we did.
Right? And so I want to go low. I'm proud of you, man. You got over $100 million in develop done or in the pipeline ready to go.
Yeah.
You got Reinvest coming down. And what I really like about you is, yes, you business. You're doing good while you're doing well. And so it's about giving back the same time you're taking.
That's right.
And the same time you're winning.
That's right.
And so I like that about you. A lot of people don't have that. I want you guys to go blow him up on social media, because more people like this need the attention versus other people that get the attention that don't necessarily need it. Now he ain't gonna sell you something, but you're gonna be able to learn something, and you're gonna be able to put something in a feather in your hat that you can take down the road with you way down the road. But
that's right.
Any departing words that you want to give anybody out there?
I would say, I failed to mention how Reinvest will have an educational component to it.
Okay.
So we plan to have an online curriculum. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the Reinvest development training program, as mentioned, similar to the ACRE program that I took, to provide exposure and access to people in the space. We're also going to do a Reinvest conference very soon, so check that out in 2022. With some other things we're cooking up, but I wanted to put that on wax just so.
Got it. So not only you say, yo, you can invest, but I'm going to show you what you're investing in and how this stuff works. So you just more. Got it. Okay. I like that. Where can people find you at? Where you want them to go?
Check me out, B Rule on all platforms, B_RULE. Text my community number. That'll always be there. And I'm also launching a podcast soon, The Rose That Grew. So check me out there. I'm gonna have you on as a guest.
I'm coming wherever. Just tell me wherever.
Yeah.
As soon as I move into the new house with the studio behind it, I'm bringing you out. I'm gonna get you on a horse. See if you can ride a horse.
Let's roll.
All right, cool. I like that.
I'm adventurous, bro.
A lot of people don't want to take the challenge. I'm gonna see. Hey, anybody come? If you listen, don't even email me if you don't want to ride a horse or you don't want to swim a couple laps in my pool.
I'm adventurous.
I don't want to hear it. Let's do it, man. So once again, I appreciate you guys tuning into the Max Maxwell Show. If you're watching, you're not subscribed, please press that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.